Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cam from EpicConversions.com. Hope you guys are doing amazing. And I'm just wrapping up a walk this morning. I actually got my walk in the house today. I walked inside, and I gotta tell you, it's really boring. I hate walking inside. I'm not into treadmill walking, and I just don't like it. It's very boring to me. I'd much rather get outside, get a little bit of the daylight, get a little bit of fresh air. It's much better for me. But today it was just raining, and it's still raining out here. Not as bad though, to be honest. I almost wish I would have just walked outside. It's still raining, but it's not raining too bad. I almost wish I just would have walked, like put a poncho on and just walked or something. But that's all right, whatever. Maybe tomorrow. I got my walk in. It was mostly inside today. I just wanted to come outside to kind of show you guys what it was doing out here. I know it's funny. You probably think, what are you talking about, Cam? I saw you walk in the cold. I saw you walk in the wind. I saw you walk in the snow. You know, what are you talking about raining? What's the problem? Well, the problem is, I'll tell you what the problem is. First of all, the problem is basically that's kind of the one weather condition I just really didn't want to walk in, was just when it's just raining. Not like sprinkling, but just straight raining. And the reason why is because when it's cold, like right now it's 44 degrees, which is not really, it's not cold like it has been, but it's cold. This is winter weather. 44 degrees, guys. And if you're Celsius, you're not Fahrenheit. When I say 44 degrees, I'm talking about, it's about 10 degrees. It's about 10 degrees above freezing, okay? So anyway, so it's not like ice, you know, you're going to get frostbite cold, but it is kind of cold. You know, it's chilly. But anyways, rain, wet, mixed with cold, that equals getting sick to me. Now, some people say, oh, going out in the cold is a myth. If you go out in the cold and you get sick, that's a myth. Say whatever you want. I know what I know. I worked in healthcare for years. I believe this kind of weather right here, walking around all day in this kind of weather, and the rain mixed, just straight rain, not sprinkling, but straight rain mixed with the cold, and it being wet from raining for a few days, that's a good recipe to get sick. I don't want to get sick, so today's just the inside walk day. But anyways, I still wanted to update you guys, and just kind of share something with you today about marketing. So anyways, I'm Cam from EpicConversions.com, and I want to talk to you guys today about podcasting. Now, you might not care about podcasting, and I'm not talking about like podcasting, like doing podcasting, right? You don't have to do podcasting. If you hate podcasting, like I actually recommend don't do podcasting. Sorry. I actually recommend don't doing podcasting if you don't like doing podcasting. I don't think you should do any like activity that you're going to be doing for a while if you don't like doing it. I think your heart has to be in things. There's some exceptions to that. There's exceptions to everything, but as far as the podcasting thing goes, what I'm talking about is listening to podcasts. Now, I know a lot of people don't like listening to podcasts. People say they like listening to podcasts, but they don't. Right? They'd rather watch YouTube videos, right? Or they'd rather read or whatever. And I get that. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to like education, when it comes to, you know, continuously trying to educate yourself, I think a podcast for me, it's a big like component of that, you know? Like I try to read every single day, okay? But also, like there are times where I'm doing other things that I can actually listen to a podcast. And it's nice because it gives me different ways to think. It gives me new ideas, new concepts to think about, right? And a lot of times I'll get my book recommendations from podcasts. You know, not always, but I mean, sometimes they'll have some decent ones. And I think that the main thing about podcasting to me is that like I can listen to a podcast and I can do something else while I'm listening. It's a passive form of education. And you can't say that about reading, and you can't say that about watching YouTube videos. You can't. You know, if you're watching a YouTube video, you got to sit there and watch it. If you're reading, you got to sit there and read. But if you're listening to a podcast, if you're listening to an audio training, you can actually be doing something else while you're listening. Now, I personally make the case that you probably won't retain the information quite as good as if like you were listening intently and like taking notes or whatever. I'm sure you won't. I know I don't. But you are picking things up. You're passively listening while you're working on other stuff. And by doing that, I'll tell you what, you're fitting in education, whereas otherwise you wouldn't be fitting in education. I mean, think about if you had a full day to get done for your business, or you had a full day, let's say you still work at a normal day job, and you had a full day of doing stuff, and you had no time to get any education in that day. And once you got done working, you were tired. But what if, like, you had to do some driving at work? You could fit in podcast episodes in your commutes, right? You could maybe you work at a job where you can listen to headphones. You could put headphones on. You know, it's passive, so you can do a lot of normal jobs while you're listening to podcasts or audio training. Again, like in my work that I do, I work for myself. So with podcasts, with that education, it is passive. But for me, like if I'm doing work where like I have to do some writing or I actually have to use my brain to think, I won't listen to podcasts. I'll listen to music. I'll listen to like instrumental type music. I don't want any lyrics. I don't want any ideas or concepts floating around my brain messing with what I'm thinking about. But if I'm doing work where I don't have to like think actively, like let's say I'm just building a web page, or like I'm just like converting videos or just whatever else I'm doing throughout the day, then I will or another one is like uploading videos, like this video right here. When I get this recorded, I'll go ahead and I'll upload it to YouTube and stuff. Doing work like that, I can listen to a podcast while I'm doing stuff like that. Just simple little tasks that don't really require my active brain to do. It's just work that's got to get done, Like, for example, I'll do emails to my email list. Hopefully you guys are all subscribers to my newsletter, my free newsletter. If you're not, get subscribed, man. It's at epicconversions.com. And if you like this video, if this resonates with you at all, you should definitely subscribe, because I put my best free content out by email, not by random phone video. Okay. Anyways, what I was saying was, I don't even know what I was saying. I totally forget what I was saying. If you are just doing stuff like that kind of work, like this podcast, like this episode right here, when I get this recorded, I'll go inside, I'll upload those videos. Just doing just basic, I call it busy work, But anyways, I remember what I was saying. I do emails to my list 3 to 6 times a week, okay? So what I do with some of those emails is I'll convert them to podcast episodes also. Podcast posts, whatever. Oh my goodness. Blog posts. I'll convert some of those emails to blog posts, and also put them on Medium as well. And I do that just so people can get like an idea of what my newsletter's like. But that kind of work, like converting that email into like a blog post and converting it over to Medium, that I don't need like active brain power to do that. I can listen to a podcast while I'm doing that, and I can get some of that passive education in. I mean, what I'm telling you is, if you want to do online business, like you have got to be educating yourself all the time. Like it's a constant balance of productivity and education. So I think that, you need to get that education in any way you can. Of course, you got people out there who overeducate, but usually those aren't people who are actively working. Those are the people who are trying to make something happen. I think people who are actively working, sometimes they tend to, lean more into the productivity side, and maybe they don't always lean as much into the education side. At least that's what happens to me. So I try to find ways to fit that education in, force myself to read at least an hour a day, listen to podcasts when I can listen to podcasts. When I go for walks every day, I'll record this content for you guys, but I'll also listen to podcasts while I'm walking. So that's one of the things I do, just trying to fit that education in. Anyway, I guess this episode right here is kind of like, kind of rides the back of that other episode I did on education. But again, that's what I was thinking about today, how valuable podcasts are and how valuable audiobooks are and audio trainings are as just like a passive form of education. Because there really is no other passive form of education. It's only audio. That's why I think it's so valuable. I mean, what other form of education can you actually do something else while you're doing it? I can't think of a single one. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on it, guys. So listen, if this content resonates with you at all, just get over to epicconversions.com, sign up for my free newsletter, and I'll see you in the email inbox. Peace now.